I'm sorry, can we get another hand for Audrey for joining us today?
So sweet.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are all so excited to have you here. So to get us started, could you tell us about what ignited the idea of the Nitro Bar?
Yeah, definitely. And first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Maybe a little bit nervous too. But yeah, coffee has always been a passion of mine ever since I was 15 years old. My first job was actually as a barista at a local coffee shop. And ever since then, I had become obsessed with making the perfect iced coffee. So when I was 22, I had moved home from New York City to Rhode Island. And during that time, I was desperately trying to escape that looming depression. You know, the one that comes right after graduation, when the idea of what am I actually going to do with my life starts to set in. And thankfully, during that time is when cold brew also had just come onto the scene. So Sam and I, my boyfriend, we began trialing different recipes and giving it to friends of ours and asking for feedback. And people instantly were like, wait, why is that so good? So that fueled our confidence that maybe others would like it too.
Okay, so I'm hearing you have the spark of inspiration, essentially. So how'd you get from that inspiration to starting the business?
Great question. Okay, so from there, I asked my dad if he could help build a coffee cart. And using a $1,500 credit card and scrap wood in my parents' basement, we built a very janky coffee cart. Sorry, Dad. And we had no money for a van, so the cart had to actually be broken into pieces and fit in the back of a borrowed Outback Subaru. There was no electricity, there was no running water, but there was really good cold brew in a keg that we infused with nitrogen.
Wait. Wait. Nitrogen in coffee? Okay, so for all of our coffee fiends out there, what is nitrogen in coffee?
Great question again. Okay, so we had figured out if you take cold brew and infuse it with pure nitrogen, not nitrous, because that will do something completely different, that it will give your cold brew a smooth mouthfeel similar to that of a Guinness beer.
Wow, I've never heard of that before. That's very innovative. I'm sure the chemistry department here would love to hear about that. Well, sorry to interrupt. Continue with your story.
Okay, so from there, I had hand-cut a stencil with the words, the Nitro cart on it. And we painted it on the front of that really janky cart. And boom, that was the day that the Nitro cart was born. From there, we took the cart to the streets of Providence every single day. And there were days we would make $20, $40, $15. And in those early days, we were constantly met with, do you really think this is a good idea? Or do you know how many cool coffee shops there are? Or you don't really have the money to be doing something like this. You see, we're told that to be an entrepreneur means that you come from this big financial safety net, right? But what happens when you don't? Is it possible to be successful? What if we gave it a shot? So we did.
No, you can't leave us on that cliffhanger, so how did it go?
Okay, well, this is embarrassing because in the early days, most days actually, our only customer was an office guy who would stop by to buy 2 Maple Alley's donuts, no cold brew. And after nearing the end of that first summer, feeling defeated and incredibly broke, Sam and I had moved back in with my parents, and we were sleeping on a futon in a TV room. It was then that I started to think, I think everyone is right. To be a successful entrepreneur means you come from this big financial safety net that Sam and I just did not come from. So I was really ready to give up on that cart. But thankfully, Sam had another day or two in him. So that next day, Sam took the cart to a new location after realizing college was in session. He went out all by himself. And Sam brought the cart to Brown University. Later that day, within hours, I got a call from Sam with words that I had never heard before, which were that we had sold out and that we had made $600. Woo. Later that day, Sam brought those $600 home, and we put it in a mason jar that we kept under the futon we were sleeping on at my parents' house. And it was then that Sam and I both started to think, wait a minute, what if the cart's just at the beginning? And what if we just hadn't found our people yet? And what if we didn't give up? So that night, I posted a photo to all 200 of our Instagram followers, letting them know where we'd be. But the next day, when we showed up with the cart, it was different. And it was different because there were students waiting for us. And then it hit us. Who needs cold brew more than really cool Ivy League kids?
No one. No one. No one.
Right, no one. I remember pulling up that day with the biggest smile and tears in my eyes because I believed in myself so little that I never even let myself think that the nitro cart could be a real thing. So from there, the rest is somewhat history. Well, a very nuanced and a very challenging history. That following summer, Sam and I were vending at a farmer's market when by luck we had a crowd of people around the cart when an investor spotted us. So we pulled up in our old Outback Subaru to their peninsula of land on the water, and we made a deal that day.
Wow, it's great to hear how you essentially worked from the ground up, with a cart and eventually leading to the attention of investors. So how did you get from this unexpected investment to 500,000 followers?
Yeah, great question. So I realized that people don't want to just follow a business or a brand, right? They want to follow a human. So Sam and I figured out when we posted a photo of ourselves being goofy, showing our personality on the cart, it got way more likes than a photo of an iced coffee. So that's how we became intertwined with the storytelling and the brand from an early on point.
Yeah, social media has its ups and downs, so what's been the hardest part since starting social media?
Yeah, so over the past year, my team and I have built a following of over 500,000 across social media platforms. Every single video we started to post started to get hundreds of thousands to millions of views. And while that exposure has been amazing for our business, it's taken a strong toll on my mental health. When you're putting yourself out there like that, be wary of reading the comments, because behind the safety of a keyboard, people can be brutal. Why does she look like that? Her voice pisses me off. She is so stupid. I hate her. Reading those comments destroyed me at first, and it really made me look at myself like I never had before. And no matter how many nice comments we received, it was the mean ones that stuck to me like a piece of gum on a brand new pair of Birkenstocks. I started to question everything. I questioned everything I said, every outfit I wore, how my skin looked that day, if I had a double chin when I turned to the side, if I was the right person or cool enough to really be online.
Wow, that's difficult. I'm surprised you put up with that.
It was a hard one, but truly I'm so grateful for all of that time, because that is what really led to my social media rebirth. You can either be relevant and receive hate or not known at all. Thank you so much to my therapist for giving me that one. And the more I thought about that sentence, the more true I thought it was, right? No happy person is going online and writing negative comments about the way someone looks, or probably making negative videos altogether. So the real unlock for me was practicing empathy. I started to feel so sorry for that user on the other end, living in that state of hatred. So I stopped reading the comments. And I started listening to my friends, to my family, to my team, and to this new supportive community that I had fostered through the internet. And it was one of the first times in my life that I truly let people in. But this time, I was posting it online for hundreds of thousands to sometimes millions of people to see.
Whew. Well, it's beautiful to see how you've navigated these challenges and the criticisms to be in the position you are today. So, given your journey and the entrepreneurial wisdom you've gained from your journey, do you have any advice for aspiring business owners out there?
Ooh, yes. Okay, I think this is my favorite question. You are ready to start today. You don't need the latest clothes. You don't need the latest makeup. You don't even need a parent in finance. And you know what holds more weight than a Platinum American Express card? Your actions, your determination, and your hustle. Looking back, I realize how not having this big financial safety net was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. You see, we were forced to grow our business in a way that was strategic because we could not afford to fail. We studied success so closely, and in the end, we discovered something far more powerful: drive. That's the ultimate gift, and no amount of money can buy it.
And on the content creation side of things as well, you mentioned you can either be relevant and receive hate or not known at all. On that note, how do you sustain the drive in the face of judgment?
Okay, maybe this is my favorite question. Never let the fear of judgment hold you back. The second I stopped caring what other people thought, it was like the universe said, "You've got it." For the first time in my life, brand deal after brand deal started coming in. Our stores began tripling their sales. And Sam and I would pull up in awe to see a line wrapped around the block of our coffee shops, all because we truly decided to let go. The more real I was online, the stronger this connection grew with my followers. The more relatable I was, the deeper that connection grew. I don't want to see some perfectly polished version of you online. I want to see the real you. I want to know what you're going through. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know what makes you laugh, and I want to see you cry. People don't want to see perfection. They want to feel understood. They want authenticity, and they want you just as you are right now. And the more I've been thinking about it, right, when you roll a dice, you have a 1 in 6 chance of landing on the number that you want. But now, imagine rolling that dice 100 times. Suddenly, the odds of hitting your target increase significantly. Building success is the same exact way. You have to show up every single day, even when you're making $15 on a really embarrassing coffee cart. Day after day, month after month, year after year. With consistency, you will always increase your chances. And eventually, you're going to hit the number that you've always been dreaming of.
Whew. I think I'm going to have to take notes later, but what I'm hearing is consistency and authenticity. Those are the 2 words for the keys to success. Is that true?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Wow. I think we can all take something from that. So is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience?
Yeah, actually. Looking out, I see so many young and talented humans out there right now. And if there's one thing that you take away from this chat, I hope that it is this: you have everything that you need right now. And the only thing that you need to do is to believe in yourself relentlessly more than anyone else.
Wow, so I guess it's time to be relentless. And lastly, speaking of the audience, I know a lot of people would be mad if I did not ask, but as a coffee connoisseur, what's your favorite coffee flavor combo?
Ooh, okay. I really think that vanilla lattes are super underrated and they don't get enough hype, so just keep it simple and go for that.
You heard it, keep it simple, folks. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.